a few months back, a learner joined me. He was more than 35. And also he had history, philosophy background, which means that he did his graduation in both the subjects. And he had profound knowledge in both. He wanted to shape, groom himself, and improve his communication skills. So when he joined, he told me, ma'am, I took a lot of speaking sessions. At the same time, I took some sessions from a famous YouTuber. He mentioned the name of the YouTuber also. I said, great. So you have some base, you have some foundation. He said, I'm into reading. I love reading philosophy and history content. But there is something wrong. I'm not able to communicate properly. So that's why I've joined your training sessions to get personalized attention. So here I want you to listen to the problem that he faced. Coming to terms with the problems that you have is a major issue with most of the learners. So you may think, what is this? Concern, issue, problem. So if you take some time, you can just listen to this incident. So I said, okay, great. I'm happy that you did some work before joining my training sessions. Even if you don't do any work, it's okay. And then he began the training sessions. After 3 sessions, I told him, the main problem is you are mixing up sir, sh sound. So you know that we focus on pronunciation, not just accent, not just articulating the words. Because he wanted to become a good communicator. Not only in front of people, but he just wanted to articulate words and thoughts properly. He said, ma'am, I'm not bothered about the accent. I'm quite happy with the accent. So this learner was quite clear with the thoughts. He had some vocabulary. I told you his sentences were fine, not that bad. He was able to shape his sentences according to his needs and requirements. But the main problem was that he was not able to differentiate between sir and sh sound. So you may think, what is wrong? It's because of mother tongue interference. See, for some learners, it's a major issue. When you pronounce school as iskul, or when you pronounce communication as communication, it sounds like some other word. All the other words were fine, but when he used some of the words in the sentences, especially when you use sentences, when you continuously speak, it may sound like some other word. Have you noticed that? We all are familiar with this. As Indians, we are familiar with this. We are familiar with people speaking using mother tongue interference. So it's not a very big issue for us. But he joined my sessions so that he can focus on pronunciation and also articulation. So it was my responsibility to correct him. So I told him, see, you have to work on these sounds. It's important to work on these sounds. And for that, let's do some exercise. He said, okay, ma'am, I'm happy. But the first response was, ma'am, nobody told me about this. I took a lot of sessions from speaking platforms. Even the YouTuber from whom I took sessions, she did not mention this. She told me that I have mother tongue interference, but she did not tell me that the words sounded like some other words. It was not clear. So I allow my learners to record the sessions, especially I give the permission for that. So he said, I listened to the sessions and it really sounded like some other word. For example, the word measure. It's not messer, measure. Even if you don't have the accent, it's measure, treasure, suggestion or suggestion, communication, television, like that. I'm not focusing on the accent here. You cannot say television, you cannot say school, we cannot say English. So he had major problem. So he was a bit irritated. He said, ma'am, why nobody told me? I said, it's okay. Nobody told you, it's fine. You have come this far. I tried motivating him. After 5 sessions, he sent me an email saying, ma'am, I'm not able to digest the fact that I was making mistakes. These are simple things. So I told him, see, this is simple. These are basic things. So the first question was, my pronunciation is that bad? I said, no. You're able to articulate your thoughts. So I always give the strength. Okay, the main aspects of a learner, the strength of a learner. I said, you're able to articulate your thoughts. And beautifully, he connected philosophy and history. But then he sent me an email saying, you gave me a very genuine feedback saying that I'm making these basic mistakes. What should I do? So I gave him the activities. We began working on it. I'll give you the activities. I'll give you the steps. So first I told him, You take words, the words that trouble you with sir, sure sound, and even fur. For example, it's not after, it's after. So fur sound. Some words were absolutely okay, it was very clear. But then the other words were not clear and it sounded like some other words. So he said, yes, I listened to my recorded sessions. Instead of taking it in a constructive way, he told me, ma'am, I'm really feeling bad that I was not able to focus on this. So I sent a very big email saying, don't worry, it's okay. People realize certain aspects of learning maybe later. Now you have time, you realized at this point, and I will help you out. I don't know, he kept on sending me emails saying I'm not able to come to terms with this. I understand that it's my mistake. Why didn't that YouTuber rectify me? Why that person did not give me the right feedback? So I told him, you have to ask her. And he was saying that this YouTuber, this famous YouTuber, if I mention the YouTuber, you will also know that person. This teacher, she's not a certified teacher. So I said, see, most of the people today learn English for some time and they take sessions. They help others. And they say, I'm a teacher. So here maybe she would have given you in a subtle way. Maybe she didn't give you the technical aspect. So this person was like, I'm happy that you corrected me, but I'm finding it very difficult to digest it. I'm not able to come to terms that this basic aspect, that I have to work on this basic aspect. Because sooner or later I will have to give him this feedback saying that your words do not sound like the original form. And I remember asking him to repeat some of the words when it was not clear. And then I understood, so I began writing down those words. I asked him to identify the words with these sounds from the textbooks. So he told me that I love reading books. I love going through some of the words. I love reading vocabulary words and the meaning. So I said, you identify the sound, write those words down, and we'll do activities. He did 2-3 activities, and after that I told him, you read aloud, because he reached a point where most of the words got corrected. I wouldn't say that 85% of the issue got resolved, maybe 45%. But still, he had the habitual pattern of making the same mistake. So he was like, how do I rectify this? I want to get it corrected soon. I said, it's not possible. You have been articulating these words wrong along with your thoughts. It'll take time. Don't be so harsh on yourself. I told this, and the next day he sent me another email saying, yesterday I spent almost 2 hours reading aloud. I recorded myself. I did not get the words correct. What should I do? I think I'm not a good learner. What should I do in such cases? I gave the guidelines, I gave the activities, I allowed the learner to record the sessions like all other learners. Here we have to discuss some aspects. I know it's very difficult to come to terms with the mistakes that you make. When I say you have to accept your mistakes, you don't have to say yes to everything. You can clarify. Because you all are adults, you can clarify the doubts and the confusion that you have. Here the learner went to the point of clarifying it, why it is like that. Oh, is it wrong? I tried recording and I accept that I'm making mistakes. What is the next step? To rectify it. He did not have the patience to give time. Let's look at the deep aspects of learning. The first point is, I know it's very difficult to come to terms with certain aspects and areas of learning because you have been doing it for 25 years, 15 years, 30 years. And then you may feel, what did I do all these years? Even I faced such problems when I was learning the language, learning the pronunciation. But every day I was so happy that I'm taking the next step towards progress. That's how I reached this level, at least this level. I know that I have proficiency level, otherwise I wouldn't have taken CELTA. And I took this CELTA certification only after reaching a particular stage. And that's because I corrected myself. Many learners correct themselves. So you know that you have been learning it the wrong way, or maybe nobody told you about these mistakes. The first thing is to come to terms with some of the mistakes that you make after cross-checking. Ask for clarification. Ask why it is like that. So coming to terms is very important because English is not our native tongue. And how do you expect to learn it the right way when everybody is a tutor and a teacher today? I'm not passing derogatory comments and saying that there are so many people teaching the language today. I'm happy that there are people teaching and helping each other. But at times it can be misleading because some learners are still coming to terms with this language. They would have got this opportunity to work on the language after getting a job or even after reaching a stable financial position in life. They wouldn't have gone to an English medium school. So when they get the opportunity now in the present, they have to come to terms with some of the aspects and guidelines. Don't you think so? The second point is rumination. If you keep ruminating, if you keep overthinking, rumination is not overthinking, it's thinking deep. You can think about it. You can have a track of thoughts, asking yourself why, how did this happen? It's good. It's a constructive way of analyzing and reflecting on all that happened in your life. So ruminating is good, but if you're going to keep brooding over it, overthink, keep overthinking, and then procrastinate. Overthinking leads to procrastination. That can really damage you. It can even pull down all your energy. You cannot feel enthusiastic all the time. Of course, you're passionate about this language. What is the meaning of being passionate? When you really want to do it even in the lowest ebb of energy and tide of energy. That is the meaning. Then you have to identify these areas, identify where the errors are, because in this learner's case, the sentences were right, good confidence. He also had knowledge about vocabulary, the context. When I say knowledge about vocabulary, it is the context, where it should be used, what is the other meaning of this word. So identifying the areas where you have to really work on. He identified the areas, but he was not able to move forward. He reached the stage of impasse. He was disagreeing with himself. He was not able to proceed further. There was a block in his progress because of rumination, because of overthinking, because of procrastination. And then he told me, ma'am, I don't think I can move forward because my mind is my greatest enemy. And then I put him in language counseling sessions. Not because he was not good with his mind, not because he was not good with his mental state, but he needed language counseling sessions to come to terms with where he should begin. So I said, you're good with everything except these aspects, and it's okay. It's part of learning. What is the use of working for 2 hours, 3 hours, and also overdoing things? So he told me, I read aloud for 3 hours, 2 hours. Finally, I got frustrated, irritated, and then I decided I'm not going to move forward because I'm just coming to disagreement all the time. I'm not able to come to terms. I said, please don't be hard on yourself. It's because of your habitual pattern. You have to give some time, because he was so down that time was wasted. So repeatedly he told me, the YouTuber did not tell me. So I said, leave it. It's okay. I know that you wasted some of your time, but still you got some thoughts from that trainer or that YouTuber. You have to be careful about what you do every time. You cannot blame yourself and say, I have reached a point where I cannot move forward. Take a break for 2-3 days. Don't be hard on yourself. He was not able to come to terms about this particular point. I said there could be areas or there could be phases in your life where nobody even corrects you intentionally, unintentionally, and that's okay. When you realize it, what should you be doing? Work on it. So I gave read aloud activities, but before that I told you I gave some words. So I asked him to focus on the words, and then I asked him to take the words from the textbooks that he had at home, from storybooks also, because storybooks will have some vocabulary. It's interspersed with some vocabulary words. You will have some contextual studies also happening there. He did that, but then he was not able to move forward. And after that, I asked him to read aloud in front of me. That is when he tried it out alone back at home after the sessions. And then he was too hard on himself. And then he decided, I'm not going to move forward. I have to take a break and then maybe take some language counseling sessions and make sure that I'm okay. I'm happy that he identified his problem completely with the mind, with the mindset, and also with the areas where he felt that he got stuck. Getting stuck is okay, but you cannot stay there forever, stuck to the wall, stuck to that thought. This is what happens with most of the people. You choose not to read emails. You choose not to read completely. You choose not to listen completely, and then you ask why, how. At least in the case of this learner, he took some action. And then the next activity could be, after reading aloud from the books that are familiar to you, you can choose books and contexts that are not familiar, that are unfamiliar to you. Take a page that you haven't read in your life and then start reading aloud. But do it after some time. Don't be like this learner where you take 3 hours to just get that one word right. Communication. No, it's communication. And then again he reads the line all over. It's okay, you can repeat, but leave it at that point. Otherwise your mind will get drained, simply drained. Some people take no effort. Some people take very less effort. But here in this case, he took effort, but it was too harsh. It was draining, exasperating. And then he just closed his book like that. If he had just kept on reading, he should have done this. He should have marked the words first, kept on reading. Even if you make a mistake when you read aloud, you can take note of that word, write it down, and then make another sentence with that word. For example, measure. You're not able to get it correct. You're saying messer. Or when you put it in the sentences again, you're making a mistake. Most of the time, individually, you get it right when you pronounce the words separately. So after that, you can make another sentence. It'll also help you with your communication. For example, measure. Say, okay, I measure rice before I wash and before I cook. I need to measure the rice before I wash and before I cook. It's a very simple sentence, basic sentence. But use it in a different sentence, and then after that you can say, the tailor asked him to turn around so that he could take the measurement. So look at the different forms of the word. So use different forms of the same word to make sentences. Measurement, measuring, measured, like that. It's okay if you don't get it perfect, but you can try it out. So as a trainer, I think it's my responsibility to spread awareness, telling you that we have a lot of people working on this language, which is great. Even you're doing that. It's not just the English language. When you learn something the first time, it's sometimes unfortunate to see people taking sessions without the basic knowledge. I'm not saying that everybody is perfect with language. You don't have to be perfect with language, because even the great playwrights say there is nothing known as perfect language. William Shakespeare himself mentioned that indirectly through his works. It keeps changing. It keeps updating. I'm referring to the basics. Recently, I came across a YouTuber who pronounced a word, a difficult word. Okay, it's good. She chose a word, she did it properly. She also made a video asking the subscribers and viewers to repeat after her. But at times, the basic words like share is pronounced as shar, communication, messer. Sometimes it is here, not here, come here. Here I take sessions, and I heard her saying, here I take sessions. These are different words. It's not because of mother tongue interference. It's only because she wouldn't have probably got the access or the exposure to the correct pronunciation. She wouldn't have cross-checked. So partially it's her mistake. And when you see people taking training sessions without the basics, without the basic knowledge, I don't think you have to enroll in such courses, because they are misleading in one way. I'm against people who take the sessions for beginners, intermediate learners and advanced learners with no basic knowledge. I'm not referring to grammar. I'm not referring to sentence formation alone. You may think it's just a sentence formation. No. Pronunciation, the basics. I'm speaking about the basic things where they keep making mistakes. Repeatedly, past and present gets mixed up. And don't you think that the learners are listening and learning it wrong? This is known as habitual way of learning. When you listen to something subconsciously, you are grasping the idea, the thought, and also there is learning happening there. Just like a child, you are learning it. And imagine if you're passionate, you're going to be very transparent. You're going to be porous like a sponge. You're going to just absorb it easily, effortlessly. And today people effortlessly make mistakes. It's good to share about the journey that you are into, but at the same time, beware. Because today it's rampant, the channels are rampant, and everybody claims to be a teacher, which is okay. But as learners, please don't waste your time if you feel that things are not working the way it should be. You can cross-check. You should also find out if the person, the tutor, the learner, the co-learner has got the basic knowledge. Otherwise, it's not going to help you at all. It's going to put you in that dead end, just like this learner. So language counseling sessions are for those people who really need some guidance with the language, communication skills and mind altogether. I don't know whether you've heard about this. I wouldn't say it's therapeutic, but it becomes therapeutic if you enjoy and if you do the activities that's a part of these sessions, but you will enjoy them. So training sessions are different, where we work on the language, where we work on the communicational aspects. I never had professors and teachers who took such kind of training sessions, because in those days we had classes, lectures, and at times they were very free to discuss contexts, news, certain matters and aspects of language. But apart from that, training sessions were not predominant in those days. It was also not a part of the educational learning system because it was not a necessity. But today, training sessions are important. You have English for different professional requirements. That is the case. So I hope you understand the meaning of this. I hope that you learn from this learner. The learner is passionate. He continues to learn. I'm giving you these guidelines because I've been through this. And I'm giving you some shortcuts that will not hold you on to the wrong methods of learning. Why you want to waste time? It will not keep you brooding over. It will not keep you ruminating and overthinking and procrastinating. At the same time, you may just end up flying off the handle, just losing everything that you've been working on for a very long time. Do you want that to happen to you? Well, I don't want that to happen to you, genuinely. Happy learning.